Okay, right now I'm looking at XAUUSD, looking at gold. Take this swing low to that swing high. All right, let's go on this. This is just demo trades. It's not live. I'm doing this on MetaTrader 4. Not really into Forex that much, but just figured I'd do something just to get used to doing stuff like this. Okay, so first thing, we're on the 1 minute time frame. All right, we see here we just broke that low. All right, we got this demand down there, but let's take this swing low to swing high. I'm expecting this to sell off down here, come to this discount area, and then we'll see how we react. So I'm not looking for taking a position until we start reaching this area down here. And let's mark that demand. All right, so what possibly could happen, price could go up, project off that supply area and then make its way down. But I mean, really just got to be patient with it. Just try not to rush. So yeah, we'll start doing this and let's see where this goes. Yeah, and I mean, this is really just how trading is. You just sit here and wait. Sit here and wait all day. So I've been demoing on this MT4 account for like, maybe like the past month and a half. On demo, you start with like 100K, and I have this account to $205,718.28. So it's a little over 100% return on this account. But I mean, primarily all I do is just scalp. So I'm not, holding trades for 3 hours or an hour. It's usually like no longer than 15 minutes. Just happened. Like price stopped. All right, let's refresh this. Let's go back here. Oops, XAUUSD. Okay, here we go. Price was just being stagnant for a second. Actually, we probably could catch some sells down to here, but let's switch to a 5 minute time frame before even taking a position, because you have to look at all time frames. All right. Okay, so for anyone that watches this, I'm gonna put some quizzes in here. So just based on this, actually, let's go to high. Let's go to a 1 day. Does price look bullish or bearish to you? Bullish or bearish? Or ranging? This is quiz number 1. So in the comments, when you guys watch this, say quiz 1 answer, and then put your answer. All right, so we see, let's see. Okay, let's mark this. All right, now let's take this out. All right, let's keep this in mind right here. We got a little bit of, got a couple wicks right there. Let's see how we react. I'm gonna go in for a sell right now. And on this MT4 is 1771.97. So No, not the greatest, but I'm gonna go for a 3. So 0.96. Didn't get filled. Okay, just got filled, I think. Okay. Yeah, so the price that it shows on here versus the actual trading view, completely different. So since I just entered that sell on this demo account, down $51 right now, but it's just because of the price discrepancy. But it's okay. All right, now we're down 42. All right, just opened up another sell. Make sure I'm just in here by myself. Okay, so the reason why I took that sell right here, because you see we have this high right there. Let's move this over. And then we see price did what? We rejected that, right? So price grabbed that small liquidity. And now I'm expecting price to correct this impulse move. Okay, so I'm expecting price to move lower right here. Moving forward to do something like this. It'll make its way on down. Okay, and now we went for, okay, now we're up $105 on this demo account, $117. You can start taking some profits here if you want. I mean, that's what I would do. So this just shows, I mean, all I'm really doing this is just to show you how to chart and how everything works together. So yeah, I mean, this is what I do every day, right? So you see how it happened literally just as I said. We have this high right here, price wicked above it. What does that mean? Price should move lower. And just like that. If this chart was inversed, I mean, you see, it's that simple. I have this low right here, price takes that low, moves opposite direction. And that's really all we're looking for. So on that trade right there, I mean, it's just on demo. It's nothing too serious. But we went from down like $50 on each position to up 117 total. Right? And it's only because of the price discrepancies. So if this gave us more accurate quotes, then we would have a much better opportunity for profit. All right, so our stop loss would have been, so our entry was just about here. Stop loss would have been that wick right here. And we can target really wherever within here. But I would just simply just go to this low, to that high right there, down here. And that's how you do it. You see? And this is why we take partials. Because you see how vigorously price moved up. Just like that, you guys. So let's see why price moved up. All right, so we got impulse move here. Let's take this candle before. Let's mark that off as demand, and let's start looking. All right, we should have taken buys right there, but I wasn't really looking for it. All right, yeah. You see, like, it's just like that, just like that. So I really don't do Forex that much. It's really, I really just stick to options. But the reason why I'm doing this is just to show you that, I mean, with charting, as long as you understand how to chart, you can be successful at trading, okay? And that's really all I'm trying to emphasize. So we just saw how we captured this move down and how we could have captured that move up. All right. And let's see. Let's see what's going on. So I just entered some more cells, slight profit. And this is how I scalp. A lot of people don't like to scalp, but I mean, to each their own. But honestly, since this isn't stocks and this is FX, I probably should start just looking at like a 15, trading off the 15 or like 10-minute time frame. Because I don't necessarily know how this works with the type of quotes and all that type of stuff. So those sales were profit as well. Decent size move down. And we still have this unmitigated demand area right there. So, I mean, for price to reach there, we just have to start taking out some lows. Got here. Then we would want to see how we react off this. And then eventually down there. All right, up $30 on this demo account for the sales. I mean, it's just like that. This is how you chart. All right, let's see if we can close below this low. Up 33. There we go, that's straight. Up 39. Look to close. So that's 39 bucks right there. And that's off a 3 lot size, a lot size of 3. So yeah, this is what trading is. Sitting in front of a screen, watching currency moves, and looking to see how it moves. Just going on from there. All right, so now up 60 on the sells. And we are at this low right here. So this would be another great spot to start taking some partials. Exactly. Just as I said. Just as I said. So yeah, there you have it. And this is exactly what I look for when it comes to, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you're trading. It doesn't matter if it's crypto, stocks, FX, but that's what I look for when it comes to charts. Um, taking partial profits and doing everything of that nature. So here, I'm going to break down some examples. Not really examples, but some trades I took earlier today, just so you guys can get an understanding of how all of this stuff works together. Let's see, what time did I enter this trade? Let's see, 1 second. All right, 1:06 p.m. is when I entered SPY calls. So I believe I was looking at a 1 minute time frame. Let's see, 13 is 1:06. Okay, so about over here. All right, let me go to my original 3 minute. Yeah, this looks better. Okay, yeah, so this is it. So it was on a 3 minute time frame. So entered calls 1:06. So about over here in this area. So let's keep that in mind. So the first thing I did is I wanted to look at, kind of this whole structure. So I just took it from swing low to swing high. Here, let me move me. All right, swing low, swing high, right? So here we have this discount area. This bottom quadrant, this is where we want to look to start taking our entry. All right, so let's mark that off there. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so here we have impulse move up, be behind demand, red candle. Mark that red candle off as demand. Okay, so here we see prices actually reacting to it, right? We just don't have red candles slicing right through. We have some sort of movement through here. All right, so if we take that low, extend this out, right here, let's make this red. All right, so here we have pretty much equal lows. Okay, so we can mark this off right here, equal lows. Okay, so now when it comes to looking for your entry, I mean, it's really all based on what you like. So what I saw is we had this small supply right here, okay? Let's highlight this area so you guys can see better. Let's make this red. Like this opacity to there. Okay, so I entered on that candle right here. Stop loss, easily been this low here, I mean, whatever. Now, in terms of targets, you pretty much just want to keep doing the same thing. Find that SMB. Impulse move down, candle before supply, rejection, sell off. Right. So as prices moving up, we're just targeting higher supplies and highs and whatnot. And then we can see this pretty much just played out perfectly. Okay. So since we entered, price never came back to test our stop loss. So we're straight. We're straight. And this trade was like a 40% return. So I mean, pretty much we risked SPY going, or I risked SPY going down 30 cents to capture a $2.29 move to the upside. That's a pretty good risk to reward. It's 7.84. So if this trade would have went the opposite direction, on a 30-cent move to the downside, would have maybe lost like a few bucks. I mean, contracts are only like 80 bucks a piece. So it's nothing too crazy, but I mean, you don't have to hold a trade all day long to capture some sort of profit. You can do this quickly. All right. And as you see here, let's see how long this took. All right. So from 105 to, okay, yeah, I guess this did take quite a while. It didn't feel like that long because I was doing other things. All right, let's move on to the next trade I took today. This was Microsoft. So the first thing I was looking at is we have this demand on the 1 hour. And these entries and whatnot is just based on Friday's close. So actually, let's just delete this. So first thing I did is started on a 1 minute time frame. Okay. Actually, let's mark this 1 hour demand just before we do anything else. What's today? August 1st. Yeah. All right, so this is what I had marked. This was what you could call your point of interest. So let's turn that down. Okay, now let's go to the smaller time frame. All right, so now that we're on the smaller time frame, I mean, all these trades are pretty much the exact same. We're looking for our highs and lows. That's really all we're doing. So if we break this down to our 1 minute, the first thing I did, and you guys probably saw in the last video, this first minute candle, this blue line was our high, and this blue line was our low, right? So wait to see how price would move out of this given area, okay? So we saw price broke that low here. So now let's zoom back a little further. This will load to see where price bounced, okay? So now we got to start looking at all this price action back here. All right, so if we look on this candle over here, this is going to be really, really tight. Right, price closed here, 277.05, price open, 15 cents higher. So that is considered somewhat of a gap up. Even if it's 20 cents, 7 cents, 15 cents, it doesn't really matter, okay? So price came to this 1 minute demand level, and this is where I look to take that pause entry, and that's what I did. I didn't take it necessarily right off of that low. So I don't really ever trust that first low. Took it on here. And this was my stop loss. So entry, stop loss. And then when it comes to the target, looking to target this imbalance right here. And that's how you trade. So like all throughout here, like you'll see, price chopped up, came all the way back down. You can take partials as it goes up here, right? So like, let's say right here, you're up 25%, 30%, good, take some profits, right? Price comes back down. You can enter more calls if you want. You can sell your position, take a re-entry or whatnot. It's really just about, moving with price, because as price moves, everything else does. Like these charts is like a breathing thing, right? It's gonna move, it's gonna do all this different weird stuff. Just don't ever expect a stock to just go straight up, right? Like anything you do in life, it's not just gonna be in a straight direction, right? Like let's say with trading, you're not just gonna start trading, have one good trade, and then never have a bad trade ever, right? It's never linear. It's gonna go up, go down, go up, go down. You're gonna do good some days, you're gonna do bad some days. And as long as you keep doing good over time, your progress of trading will get better and better. So it's like this with stocks. Price goes up, price pulls back, price goes up, price pulls back. That's all it is. More people are entering the market. So as we scaled out here, exited this trade. I didn't trade it again for the rest of the day, but we can see price. Actually, let's zoom in over here. All right, so once we broke that supply right here, we can see price had a small gap down. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even touch that, but I mean, it's whatever. But anyways, price comes all the way back down to this 1 hour demand. And this is why it's important to always look at different time frames, because you can see different stories, because different time frames tells different stories. All right, and you could have taken that right there. Equal lows. Taking that bounce up, 275, 279, 4 hour move. Easy 70% return right there. That is how you trade, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here's another trade I did today. This is Facebook. Here we have this 1 hour demand. We're looking for price to react in there, which it did. And I still have that entry, stop loss, all that set. So big blue area, 1 hour demand. Let's go to 5-minute time frame. Let's get that out the way. All right, so I just waited for price to do its thing, right? So you don't always have to take an entry first thing the market open. You can just look to see where price is going, okay? So we have this 1 hour demand. So as price is falling down, we can use this, as our point of interest. We can say, okay, this is where price should have some reaction. Once price reaches here, we should have a better understanding of where price can go. All right, so we have these levels blocked. And price just pretty much reacts just as we want it to. You can watch the last video I posted over this, right? Price breaks that high. We took our entry here. And this was a clean move to the upside. Now, I believe about right here, I was up almost 30%. So then like towards the end of the day, this thing literally ripped for like over, what was it? I believe it was over like 300%, 360% return on this. Let me check. Yeah, 362% on this one move up. Okay, and right here, this green line was my original entry, only based on Friday's close, right? This isn't based on today's open. This is based on Friday's close. So if price opened around the same level where it closed, then we would have looked to take entry on that level, but it didn't. We took our entry off this demand and just played it up. So this was an easy over 350% return play. And I mean, if I would have just taken calls off that, regular entry, it would have been like 160%. But nonetheless, this is exactly how I trade. So yeah, get rid of that. And let's delete this chart because I'll probably end up trading this tomorrow. So yeah. All right, let's go on to the next stock that I traded today. There's a lot of trading today. So here's Amazon. Let's go to a 1 minute so I can gather my thoughts on what I was thinking. Okay, here we go. Delete this. Delete this. Delete this. Okay, here we go. So August 1st started here. So market open, price came falling down. Impulse move up, left behind demand. We wanted price to come back to this demand level, which it did. Took our entry off of this bounce right here and just played it up. Just demand bounces and supply rejects is pretty much what I like to trade. So yeah, I played this move down right here, and on this move up, I ended up catching that as well. I didn't mention that in the last video, but yeah. So on this trade right here, so entry, it wasn't the low of this candle because that low was my stop loss. It was somewhere within this candle. I believe it was about here, halfway, just about. And then you can see this thing just went crazy. This thing just plain moved to the upside, right? And I mean, even if you didn't hold it all the way, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're able to identify good quality setups and just trade the charts, right? Like you don't have to hold a trade for 130%, 300%. You really don't have to. You can just hold it for like 30%, take your profits, go on about your day. That's really all it is. It's really all it is right there. So yeah, this trade, let's see. Yeah, ended up clocking out a 76% return on this. It looks like a huge move only because we're on a 1 minute time frame. But if we switch to like a 1 hour, it's not gonna look that big. Yeah, it's not that big. But this is what I look for, just like that. This is how I trade all the time. Now, a trade that I did post that I did not take is Snapchat. How do we feeling with Snapchat? Only because this stock tends to move one time and it doesn't really move much throughout the day, but you can see it hit our puts entry. I mean, the contracts barely moved on this. It was just small profit. So, I mean, you would have made some profit, but nothing crazy like the other stocks. That's why I don't really like to trade these small stocks like Snapchat, Neo, Ford. I can't even think of any small stocks like that. I just don't like them. Let's see. Oh yeah, I also did post AMD today as well. So with this, our entry was solely just based on the supply. I charted this out on Saturday, so like 2-3 days ago. So I don't necessarily remember why my entry was where it was at specifically. But as you can see, price broke our entry, retested it, and just clean move to the upside. Nothing too crazy. Alerted entries on this as well. Yeah, and this ended up hitting for a 30% return. So, I mean, really, you don't even have to trade every stock as long as you take like one really straight. All right, so that is pretty much a recap of everything I did today. Let's go back to gold to see how this ended up playing out. I really don't like Forex, to be honest with you. But all right, pretty much as I mentioned earlier, we had this unmitigated demand level, right? All we had to do is be patient, wait for price to come back to that demand level and take our entry off of this, right? So if you start at the beginning of this video, maybe like 2 minutes in or whatnot, that's exactly what I mentioned is watch for this area right there, okay? So this price hit there, could have taken the entry. I don't know, let's say you entered here. So you had your stop loss at the bottom or stop loss of this low right there. And you could have targeted this high perfectly. And that is exactly how you would have traded it. Just like that. And this is how I like to scalp markets. This is exactly what I do every single day. And honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, like, yes, let's say you only have $100 account and you scalp something for 40%, you make 40 bucks. That's great. It's all about the percentage rather than the dollar amount, because some people will trade with $1 million and they'll say, oh my gosh, look at me, I just made $100,000 today trading. Like, yeah, it's cool and all, but I mean, you risked $1 million to make 100,000. And it's a 10% return. It's great and all, but I mean, I'd be more impressed with someone that had $100 and made 40 bucks and got a 40% return off of that. And that's really all it is, because if you're able to scale a little amount of money, it should come easy as your account starts to grow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is now almost 6 o'clock Central Time. The date is August 1st, 2022. Pretty much all I did is went over a couple of trades that I did today. We looked at XAUUSD live, and I broke down some concepts for you guys. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. If you guys enjoy this, leave a comment, leave a like, do whatever. Just give me some feedback. Let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know what you didn't enjoy. Let me know what you would like to see more of, because I can keep pushing these videos out consistently all the time. Just let me know what you want. I'll make it happen. So, all right, I hope you guys watching this have a good rest of your night and enjoy.